I love change. I love change of environment, changes in life. And as we expand, I believe that change is inevitable and it's not a bad thing.
Take care of all of the things that make you happy. Figure out home stress, environmental stress, move your body. It sounds so simple, but it's true. Find the things that make you feel like closest to yourself and at peace.
Just anyone out there like going through grief and loss. I say this at the end of my book, like now the healing begins, and healing from trauma takes a lifetime, and that's okay.
Yeah. I started working for The Big Silence and it actually like encouraged me to go to therapy, to talk about things, even when it sucked. Like it sucks, but it's also really good because it helps you move forward and like find parts of yourself, and it helps you connect with like the younger you that would be so proud.
The Big Silence, empowering personal experiences, inspiring compassion, and healing lives. We are no longer silent. We are here. The Big Silence. The Big Silence.
Welcome back to the Big Silence podcast. It's your friend Karena. First of all, thank you for coming back every Wednesday to hang out and have amazing conversations, fun conversations, topics of mental health, self-development, and all the things that we don't normally talk about. And today's guest, we're going to talk about all sorts of things. We'll get there, but I just wanted to let you know that I want to make sure that you're subscribed to the podcast, because then you get notified so you don't miss an episode. So go over in Apple, Spotify, wherever you are listening from, and click that button. So with no further ado, is that what it is?
I think it is.
Without further ado, today's guest you don't want to miss. It is Deseray Cummings, not a porn star. My social media manager, and I call a friend. Welcome.
Thanks. So happy to be here. Sorry to disappoint, not a porn star.
Oh gosh, you went like growing up with the last name, Deseray, like Desire Cummings. Like what were your parents thinking?
Well, you haven't met Craig, so I'll leave that to you to meet him, and then you can do the math.
I have not met Papa Craig.
One day.
So Deseray's here in Austin. We've been working together like 3 years now, right?
I think 2.5, 3.
2.5, 3. Yeah.
Crazy.
Social media. So from Big Silence and Karena Dawn, she's on there helping me out, motivating me. She comes out to Austin every couple months, 2 to 3 months, and we get together and have fun and shoot some great content and work together daily. And she's great. And we've become great friends. She stays here at the house and we have all fun conversations. Deseray is 27, soon to be 28. I think actually when this comes out, you're going to be 28.
Oh, wow.
Bobby and I are like...
I met you when I was 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Look at you growing up before our eyes.
Flies.
Bobby and I are like her parents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, literally.
But we thought it'd be fun to kind of do like a Life Lately catch up podcast and ask the community questions and just hang out here and have some girl talk. So get comfy. Pull yourself a kombucha, a glass of wine, a Magic Mind, whatever you need, and hang out. All right. So where do we even begin? All right. Let's talk about what... We woke up this morning and went paddleboarding.
We did.
Right on Lake Austin.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't.
I didn't, actually. I'm just kidding. I was hanging out. I was there for moral support. You stood up.
I did.
You did great. The wake surfers came by and the waves were coming and she killed it. She was just fine. I was going to be face first in the water. So I'm glad you did that for us.
I killed it, AKA dropped to my knees and screamed. But... I haven't paddleboarded in forever. I used to do that a lot in California and like Redondo Beach and all of that. And so I don't do it as much out here. But that leads me to one of my questions. My questions for myself. But, community question is questions. Do you miss California?
Yeah, that was like the top one.
Yeah. The answer is no. which I mean, so Desiree lives in LA, and I lived in
Yeah.
LA for 20 years. And originally I lived in Indiana for 18 years. So I actually lived in California longer than I lived in my hometown. But I don't know. I love Austin, but I do still have a place in Palm Springs. So, and you've been there, and I love it there.
It's magical. I love it.
Yeah. And I do go to LA for work. And I get this question a lot, like, why did you move to Austin? I've answered it, but if you haven't heard it, it's just change. I love change. I love change of environment, changes in life. And as we expand, I believe that change is inevitable and it's not a bad thing. And I just have loved being here. You know, you come to my house and
Yeah, it's amazing.
you probably haven't seen any. You've seen like Soho House Collective and my house.
And ski shores.
And ski
Don't
shores.
forget ski shores. No, I love Austin though. From what I've seen, it's like a dream. I feel like I'm on vacation.
Yeah. And the reindeer
And the reindeer.
and the
We love them.
Pomeranians.
Yeah, it's you guys are my second family, so I'm on vacation every time I come here with some work. But
But yeah, I mean, I love LA. And we were just talking last time I was there. Oh, I was there for the Operation Happy Nurse and the
Yeah.
Lemons Gala with Tay and Shannon.
Mhm.
And I was texting you as I landed at LAX. I was like, wow, this is like such a different experience now that I don't live here and come back. And it's like the hustle and the bustle and the grind of LA. I moved to LA, I was 18. When did
Mhm.
you move? Because you're from
Well,
Utah.
From Park City, moved to California when I was 16. Graduated high school early, moved to Santa Barbara. So was there for a few years and then moved to LA when I was like 20. So it's going on 8 years in LA.
Wow, we're like on a similar path.
Are we bonded? Get along so well.
No, but it's so different. Like when I moved to LA, it was before, okay, I could have a fake ID to get into a club.
Oh, I did that at 20 when I was doing that.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they like scanned by then.
Oh, they scanned. We got to pay a little extra, but I got mine
Oh.
from like Ukraine or something. I don't know.
Oh, my people. I didn't know that you had a Ukrainian ID. So what was your
Well, no, it
Ukrainian
wasn't-
name?
No, we got them from Ukraine,
Oh.
but they were Colorado licenses.
I was like, is it my last name? So Sahadachny, did you take my last name?
Better than Cummings. It did get taken away a week before my 21st birthday, but it served
Hey,
its purpose.
isn't that so wild? I don't think like back in, if anyone here is back so I moved there in 1999 and like all the clubs, like guys, and I don't even remember anymore, but we literally, my friends and they'd show an ID, we'd back it, like put our arm down and
Yeah.
hand it off and it
Oh, yeah.
worked. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they didn't care. I
I'm
think they
not
started really
suggesting-
caring. Yeah, we
Not
don't-
suggesting this. Stay out of trouble. Don't get IDs from the Ukraine. Who knows? Stay out of trouble, kids.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't drink. Don't do drugs. Definitely don't do drugs.
Go to Dare.
But so LA these days, one of the things I love talking to you about, and actually you at 28, let's say, and I have friends at 40,
Mhm.
38, 40, 41, 42, being single.
Mm-hmm.
And I've obviously been with Bobby for 12 years. And
Yeah.
so I'm always interested in the dating scene. Any tips?
Anyone got a shot of tequila? Dating scene in LA.
Or in general.
In general, I mean, it's because I've lived different places. It's not just LA. I've dated many other places throughout my life, an adult life, and it doesn't seem to be that much better anywhere. I had the most fun in Bali, I will say. I had,
You dated in Bali.
like met the love of my life like 8 times, but we're not gonna get into that.
Different person 8 times? Or same person?
Yeah, but like there were
She's
just so
shy.
many.
She doesn't want to. She's
There
like,
was an
who's gonna
abundance
list?
of amazing men, but it was we call
so we go to
those-
Bali.
Yeah, we go to Bali. That's where you fall in love. But
Makes
those
sense.
are holiday boyfriends.
I had one of those ones.
Holiday
In my
boyfriends are
early
the
20s,
best.
yeah.
Those are the best relationships of your life.
I had a holiday boyfriend in
Oh, they're the
Hawaii, and then he
best.
followed me to LA, and I was like, no. That is
Yeah,
not what we're doing here.
Yeah, one is from the Netherlands, and he's actually at Burning Man right now. And he's like, "Can I come hang out with you and stay with you after?" I'm like, "No,
Nope.
you're a trip boyfriend.
Yeah.
You can't come to my house. That defeats the purpose." But overall, dating, it's brutal. LA, I think, is extra brutal.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's imagine going to a candy store and you just have all the bright, yummy, amazing candy, kind of a collection of the most beautiful humans. And I think it's with dating apps and just everything. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard in general with dating apps because there's always something better, I think, in everyone's brain is they want to find better, richer, better looking, whatever it is. So it kind of makes it hard. I think the biggest thing with LA, I have amazing girlfriends. I'm very picky with my friends to make sure people are like, have integrity. They're good friends. I've been through craziness throughout my 8 years in LA, gained amazing friends, lost friends, and I tended now at, going into 28, surround myself with really good people. And a lot of my friends are getting engaged and they're great and they've had these long-term boyfriends, but no one that has met their boyfriend within like the last 5-6 years, it doesn't last. They're getting cheated on. Everyone has like second or third lives. It's just no one wants to commit. I just don't. It's like every week one of my friends has met their dream man. He's amazing. And then the next week they have 4 girlfriends and they were caught with this person and they're doing this. I just don't. I don't know the answer for modern dating.
I feel like this podcast could just be like a dating and relationship.
Literally.
Not advice. Just
don't take advice, but entertainment.
Yeah. So that's so interesting. And I mean, when I was your age, I was with someone, R.I.P. Hayden Packwing, for
if you're watching this.
But we were together for 7 years. And then I had to jump at your age into the dating scene. And it was different back then. I actually went on eHarmony. Have you heard of that?
Of course. Does it still exist?
I have no clue.
Yeah, probably.
But it took like 3 hours to fill out an application. And I sat with you on your Raya and
Hinge and all the things.
And I'm like, girl, like you got to change that photo.
Yeah.
That's a no. But it's so like swipe, like doesn't keep your attention.
Yeah.
And you don't get to know anyone. It's like literally.
It's like a game. I realize I have to have like, okay, we got to have a photo with a family member. I got to have no makeup in this one. I got to be doing some activity.
You got to hold a dog.
Maybe I should have paddleboarded.
You should have paddled.
We need a
Pomeranian.
We need a whole photo shoot. But yeah, you have to be relatable. You have to be funny. You have to be cool. You have to be pretty. You have to do that. It's just, it's a full-time job. Dating is a full-time job.
Do you know, did you listen to the podcast with Gala Darling?
Yeah.
Okay. And she's now engaged and at 40 and getting married. And she had a first date outfit. And it was the same outfit.
Same. Not now. I did. R.I.P. to this cute Zara dress. The strap ended up breaking. This was like last year.
Back.
I had like the uniform.
Yeah.
Same as her.
Is that like a thing?
This was like last year. I haven't been on a date in a very long time, honestly. It's kind of gave up, which I need to. But date uniform. I think it went on like 30 dates.
30? And how long?
Over like a year and a half.
Oh my God, that's exhausting. You know, and from you're like an old soul. You're like me. We're like, is it time for bed? It's like 7:30.
Well, they'd ask me on dates, be like, hey, you want to go to this place at 9 p.m.? I'm like, subtract 5 hours and I'll meet you there. And they're like, wait, what? Are you kidding? I'm like, no, see you at 5. Early bird special. That's the way to go.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yes. Because you need to sleep is important.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be up till midnight with someone that you're like not trying to vibe with. Okay. So dating apps. So you're on Raya. So you must be like famous. Don't you have to be like?
No, they let anyone on that thing now. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, how did you get on here?
Who's the most interesting person that you saw on Raya?
I did match with DJ Pauly D a couple years ago. And he invited me to Vegas. I didn't go. I saw Chase Crawford on there once. I honestly deleted all dating apps off my phone a few months ago.
Yeah.
A couple times I looked, but yeah, I gave up. But yeah, I saw Chase Crawford once. I was like, we shared a little romantic cheek kiss when I was 16 in Park City.
How old was he?
I don't know. I don't care. I still want to marry you. So if you somehow see this, Chase Crawford, I'm available.
Yeah, Chase is one of my biggest fans.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, interesting. I always say like, and we were sitting on the couch one night this week and I was talking about me and Bobby and, being together for so long and everything that we've even been through and worked through. And I'm like, I just like honor like Bobby and our relationship so much. And like, I was like, if I had to date again, I would be terrible. Terrible.
It's brutal.
Bobby, I'm never leaving
Yeah, no. Blessings. Dating in LA is like going to war.
you. So
Don't mind me.
dropping phones. She's nervous. She's never been on a podcast. I made her do this.
But
So there's actually a funny dating story that you told me because you introduced me to Magic Mind.
I did. So this will actually give you a really good idea of dating in LA. So there's this guy that my friend set me up with.
Mhm.
And I'm actually going to take this one of my favorite little.
So good. With 12 magical ingredients.
Oh, did it taste good? Especially when you're hungover or still drunk.
You told me that I was talking to you. You left some guy's house hungover.
Yeah, this was last year. I got set up with a guy. First red flag. He actually made a podcast episode about me. So this is your
Shut
payback.
up.
He did. He said he fell in love with this girl, and basically he invited me to the Grammys, like the whole thing. I get a dress. I get a blowout. I get my nails done. I do all the things. And he went to brunch, and he did sound a little
Tipsy.
inebriated. Stands me up because he fell asleep. So I did all that stuff, and 10 p.m. rolls around, and he is like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I got a little too crazy at brunch." And this is why I don't date guys my own age. That's
so
another
he was
story.
okay. Yeah,
He was 28. Yeah,
okay.
that's why I don't do that. And I was like, this is why I was not down from the beginning. But anyway, before that whole thing happened, I was at his house, and another weird drunk thing. I don't know where he was. Actually, I think he was still passed out, but I was like, I gotta go. It is 7 a.m. past my wake up time. I'm gonna head out, grab my things. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get a beverage out of the fridge. I tried one of these. I
Mhm.
grabbed 2 boxes on my way out, his entire stash.
Did he ever ask what happened to it?
He didn't. But then I was like shaking in the car, like, I don't go out or do much. So, when I do, I'm like, I feel like I'm 95, like about to go to the grave. And this saved me.
All right.
I drank 3 of them.
No, you told me about it. And
Yeah.
I don't drink a lot of caffeine. So this is Sharper Mind, give it to me. Lower stress, give that to me. I wake up anxious. And calm energy. That's what I love because you want calm energy. You don't want like the jitters.
I don't like the heart attack energy.
No, we don't want that.
No.
And so what's in here? We got B12, B3, B2, C and D, L-theanine, turmeric, ashwagandha, which calms you down. I love this. Like you popped this in my brain, and so I bought some just on DoorDash. Like they'll bring it to your house.
Mhm.
And then I started noticing like it was like Joe Rogan was talking about it. Like if Joe Rogan is doing it and Desiree Cummings is doing it, it's the shit.
I've been telling you.
So did you ever talk to that guy again?
We had each other on Instagram. He showed up to my doorstep with gluten-free like a bag of gluten-free bagels,
That's
an
cute.
orchid, and a bottle of wine.
Oh, just what you need. Yeah.
And I was on my way out to see
Another
different
guy.
man, and I was like, "You're gonna go."
Ah.
So that was sweet, but it's immature. He's now on OnlyFans and doing things that I would
Wait,
never.
what is he doing?
I don't know. He told me. I was like, "Are you seriously doing that?" Because we kind of like stayed friends, and he was like, "Subscribe to find out." I was like, so that's
So
when I
he wanted
unfollowed
you
him.
to pay him.
Oh, it's free.
Oh, OnlyFans is free?
Well, his is.
Oh,
You can choose how much.
I've never been on OnlyFans.
I think you depend on like the tips or something for money. I don't know, but that's what I unfollowed.
You don't know? You don't. Have you been on OnlyFans?
No, never looked at that shit. Actually, no hate on
You know-
OnlyFans. Not for me, but no hate.
When we're having dinner tonight, I'm making a beautiful toned up salmon bake. We're going to go and find him on OnlyFans. I've
Yeah.
never been on that website. I've
Yeah.
joked around about it because I have
But he found
disgusting feet.
But okay, this is actually an LA love story, I think. He found the love of his life. She's also on OnlyFans. And
That's
they're like
cute.
traveling the world together, making podcasts and content. And she's pretty big and kind of growing his page. So you know what? There's always a happy ending.
Literally. Always a happy ending with Desiree Cummings. All right. So you introduced me to this Magic Mind. Did you know, because of you and introducing me to Magic Mind, that I have reached out to them and they are offering the Big Silence community a discount limited offer that you can use now that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off one-time purchases with the code TBS. It's probably what your friend had. That's why I had like 2 things that you took. So anyways, go to, you can claim it at magicmind.com/TBS and let me know how you love it. Cheers. I was going to say, got any tips for dating in LA? And then I'm like, no, just
Stay strong.
stay strong.
Stay strong.
Yeah. I literally would just stay home.
Yeah, most of
Stay
the time I
home.
do. Most of these stories are from about a year ago. I kind of filled out, got exhausted, gave up. I have a really cozy apartment now. I just hide in it and come see you. So
Hey, me and Papa Bobby you're welcome here anytime.
perfect.
So let's go through some of these
Mhm.
community questions. I'll let you take a
Yeah,
look.
well, we hit the Do You Miss California, LA in 1999. We hit that a little bit. I know we've been talking a lot lately about hormones,
Yeah, actually, I think
women's hormones changing. I mean, I even have stuff to chime in on that, but hormones.
yeah, actually, this is good because hormones at 28 versus 43. And actually, last week, go check out the episode with Dr. Anna Kabeka, which is all about hormones and perimenopause, menopause. And I had a question from someone in the community who actually was going through peri at 35, which is
Mhm.
very young. And I realized at like 38, 39. So definitely that whole story is in last week's episode. So Dr. Anna Kabeka, she's amazing. The girlfriend doctor. You'll have to listen to that because
Mhm.
at this point it hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
But hormones are crazy. And that was another question we had. Fitness updates. You look amazing. Thank you for saying that. A lot. I've been really diving more into like what happens, like cortisol and the need for oxytocin in your life. I mean, hence why I have 5 Pomeranians. And I realized like not only was it 2020, and we were talking about this today or yesterday, like 2020 hits, we know what happened then. My mother and the passing of my mother and being her caretaker and the stress of that. And then meanwhile, I'm also going through perimenopause. And I talked about this too with Sandy Brockman on a podcast, my friend and personal trainer, and how like women and our hormones and cortisol, whether it be stress or going through these different changes in our life, hair loss, which we've talked about, um, and like you literally as a woman. So if you're listening to this and whether you're just a big silence listener or you're part of the Tone It Up community who has grown up with me for 16 years and you're like, what's happening? Because typically when we're raised, it's like, oh, you hit this age and it's just age and you're going to gain weight. But it's really no one started studying women's hormones until recently in the last, I could get this wrong, but like 20 years. And you realize like you can eat the same thing, you can work out just as much, but there's the visceral fat, the weight gain, the stress, and not to mention like as you get older, like life gets like there's a lot. You're so you have to be responsible,
Yeah.
which causes even more anxiety. Like maybe when I was younger in my teens and 20s, I was like such a free child and I was going through a lot, as you can read in my book, in my memoir, but I was still very like nothing mattered. Then when you get older, like the responsibility, work, family, home ownership, marriage, relationships, like it's a lot. And your hormones change and stress. And for me, it was like nothing had changed physically or calorie wise, but I had put on like, I don't know, I stopped weighing myself like 2 years ago. It was like 40 pounds. I've had 2 conversations with people on the podcast lately who through menopause, perimenopause and menopause gained 100 pounds. I was like, wow, like it's a lot. And women don't get enough credit for what we have to go through. Like it's your body, it's your mind. There's so much there. But I mean, all I can say is Bless. Listen to Dr. Anna Cabeca's
Yeah.
podcast. Like we answer all of those questions, and she has some amazing products as well that help you with that. And then there's like hormones and sex. I know, Dads, you're like young for this, but wait till you get older and like stuff that you're like, this is too much to be talking to you. Dryness. Like,
Don't have that problem yet.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
I'm just saying, listen to that podcast and that'll answer the hormone question. But also during that time, and I want to answer this community question about fitness updates, you look amazing. I also was going through a hormonal period of not wanting to work out and focusing all of my time on my mom. We've talked about a little bit of situational depression and all of these things, but getting back to moving your body and working out, I'm not here to say like I am the icon of fitness. I would say
No one is consistently. We all go through seasons and changes up and down, and everything changes always.
Yeah. And I know what I need to do. And I know that when I work out, I feel great. And also the different phases of, whether you are wanting to do yoga or go hiking or lift weights, I would just say that getting back into fitness, and I go through my spurts still, as you know. I lifted some weights today. We're working out with Sandy tomorrow. That's really just my fitness update, is trying to do things that make me happy.
Yeah.
That's like simple, like
It's
just
simple, but it's true.
Yeah.
I think it's also like take care of all of the things that make you happy. Figure out home stress, environmental stress, move your body. It sounds so simple, but it's true. Find the things that make you feel like closest to yourself and at peace. I think the biggest thing with me, I love finding stress, fight or flight. Like I've grown up in that environment. That's just what I know. And I think a big thing of just getting older and growing up for me, I live alone.
Mhm.
I work in social media marketing. I model. I work for a matchmaking company. Funny with all my dating advice. Like I stay so busy, but at the same time, it's like, okay, figure out how to come back to yourself and find stillness, which I still don't really know how to do. And I think it's actually important. Like I started therapy. You actually encouraged me to start therapy
Mhm.
a few years ago. Crazy. And our main practice is just to breathe.
Yeah.
Find stillness, ground yourself, because I get really overwhelmed by the anxiety and everything. And I think it really contributes to how you look, how you feel, your sleep. It's literally just bare minimum, take care of yourself.
Sleep, your skin, your
Yeah,
everything.
it's crazy.
And we do have that control and the choices we make to take care of ourselves or get in that fight and flight. Which I know I can deal with a lot of stress in, let's say, people I work with or in my life. And it's like normal, where it's probably not good, but I can handle so much. And you grew up the same way, but it's that fight or flight. Like I can maintain sanity in fight or flight.
Yeah, I like thrive in it. Not thrive, but like that's just where I'm comfortable. So it's almost like when things feel normal or still or calm, you feel like you're doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Or then you get more anxiety because you're not achieving enough, or this isn't like learning to just chill the fuck out.
We should go to therapy together.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm in this new stage of my life where I'm like, Bobby, keep me in check. Like little Karena at 27, your age when we founded Tone It Up, would never imagine. I mean, I had success prior to that, but not like this, quote unquote success. And I'm talking financial and owning a home and all the adulting and all of that stuff. And I would like this, I am living my dream. And a lot of people out there are living their dream. So I don't know, like soak that in.
Yeah.
Like this is like, get rid of anxiety. I'm working on it,
Yeah.
But
I think that also goes back to just comparing life and actually grounding yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you told 16-year-old Desiree that I'd be living alone in Santa Monica and have amazing friends and have like 3 different career paths and be working all these things and I mean, I was a Tone It Up girl.
I know.
Since I was like, I don't know, 12, 13. I was on every YouTube workout before the app launched.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Like to even be working with you, sitting here on this podcast, running your social media with you, staying at your home, like just friends, life. And I think LA, it's easy to feel really jaded because it's like there's always something better. You always need more. Financially living there, you gotta make a lot of money. It's just acknowledging your accomplishments and realizing how far you've come.
Yeah.
And grounding yourself and just staying present because I struggle with that. And I think it's important
Well,
to stay healthy too.
you're a good girl.
Thanks.
And Mama Karena and Daddy Bobby are not going to let you fuck up. So let's move through some other questions. One thing we can announce, I have my audiobook coming out. So my memoir came out already, and I recorded the entire audiobook, so make sure you sign up for the Big Silence newsletter to know when it's coming out and do the pre-orders, because it's really fun. And there's bonus footage where my friend is a therapist, and we, after each section, she like deep dives into like little child Karena and like asks how I feel now. And it's like bonus therapy sessions. So it's really, it's great. And it was really fun to record too. I mean, it was hard. It took me forever. I didn't record it for a while because you have to like relive everything. But then I was kind of like, I told Bobby, I was like, it's kind of like I'm an actress because I had to have different voice notes and tones for different characters, like my sister, my dad, or my mom, or family members. So, but yeah, that's coming out this year. So,
yeah.
Nutshell.
Another big question about like grief and change and navigating all of these changes in life with the hormones, with COVID, with all these things. Like, how are you doing now? How are we doing?
Right now? I'm doing good right now.
Life.
Well, no, speaking of grief, actually, when this podcast comes out, it's my 3-year anniversary, if you call it, of my mother passing. And it's always an interesting time. And I've been to grief therapy, and they always say like the first year is kind of, you're just going through the motions. And then the second year, there's this almost feeling like survivor's guilt. And now we're here, year 3. And I still, I think it makes like the weeks, months leading up to it, like flashback, which then I think sometimes the grief starts to hit, like, because my mom passed in 2021, where I was holding her hand wearing plastic gloves. Like, that's messed up. And a mask. And then they had made you wear a mask and a plastic visor over that, and like a hazmat suit to even go in the room. I'm like, she's in hospice. She's like, why do we have to do all this? But just anyone out there like going through grief and loss, and I don't know, it's I say this at the end of my book, like now the healing begins, and healing from trauma takes a lifetime, and that's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, there was such an intertwined, interesting relationship with my mother, and like it's just like in my cells. And that's why I do the work I do around mental health, because I think that we can help a lot of people just talking about it and going through therapy earlier in life. And but then knowing that grief is okay. And I don't know, I'm no expert in anything except being alive.
That's all we can do.
That's all I can do.
Living and breathing.
I'm not here saying how to have success in any aspect of finance, love, marriage, grief.
We're just doing our best.
Just doing my best and here to speak my own truth, I think I'm no coach. Fitness, working out saved me. That's all I can say. Working out was my therapy when I needed it the most, moving my body. So I'm only an expert of life.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's a good point. And yeah, I mean, even with me, when I met you, I never talked about mental health or illnesses or anything like that. I mean, I had to grow up fast. And I mean, I grew up with a very non-traditional family, and alcoholism and bipolar and really unstable childhood. And I moved to California, just fight or flight, figured out how to make money, made my next move, tried to make friends, tried to just kind of go through it. And then I started working for The Big Silence and it actually like encouraged me to go to therapy, to talk about things, even when it sucked. Like it sucks, but it's also really good because it helps you move forward and like find parts of yourself, and it helps you connect with like the younger you that would be so proud, and like kind of helps ground yourself, bring you back to earth, and kind of find a community of people that are like, oh yeah, it's actually okay.
Yeah.
It's okay to talk about things, and it's good to bring attention to it, and you never know who you're going to touch, you know?
Yeah, I think that's important for me, for you, for anyone listening, that just honoring that little child and like where
Mhm.
you've come, like to
Yeah.
be here today. If you're listening to this, like you've arrived. You are an expert in life too. You know,
Our newest March hashtag
Hashtag
expert in
life
life.
expert. Hire me as your coach. Um, but what else here? Okay, so a community question. And this is a fun one. How much do you love your new Airstream? Oh, well, Bobby and I love
It's
camping.
sick.
Yeah, it's so cute. I love it. Advice on buying one? No clue. Don't ask me. Not an expert on that. Bobby can.
I just thrive and look cute in it. Don't ask me.
No advice. Friendship loss. That was a question that we got discussing that. You know, it's so interesting because sometimes people look at when you change friends or lose friends, or like it's something bad. But we
Mhm.
all evolve and grow, and
At different paces. In
yeah,
different
at different paces.
places
I
in
like
life.
that. And you know, I don't think it's a bad thing at all. You've changed a lot of friends, and
Mhm.
even this past year, 2 years, there's been friend transitions, but we grow in different directions sometimes, and that's
Mhm.
okay. At first, it can be confusing, especially if there's no communication.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm friendship loss. Sadly, an expert, not an expert.
Sadly, me as well.
Just don't beat yourself up if you've chosen to go a different direction, or someone else, and maybe your beliefs, your interests, your families, what you aspire in life, and the conversations you want to have. Like maybe I've a lot of friendships sometimes, like I want to be a little deeper and more intimate, where some friends are like quote unquote friends, but it's like always a
Surface
group,
level.
surface level. Yeah. Always in a group setting, girl gang, this and that. Like
Mhm.
maybe I'm a much more like intimate one-on-one type of person,
Yeah, me too.
and those are the friendships that thrive with me.
Mhm. And I think the biggest one too is when you lose like really, really close family vibe,
Mhm.
close best friends. And like I went through that, probably a year and a half ago,
Yeah.
where it was like my couple very closest friends, and it was just, misunderstandings, drama, whatever it was. And then it was kind of like I lost all of my friends in a
Mhm.
way. Not all of them. I still have my like OG, but it also shows you
Yeah.
who sticks around. And now I look back and I'm like, oh, well, we were on completely different pages and it was time.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense now, but it sucks. But it's like you have to just trust that you're going different directions.
Yeah,
And it's hard.
there's been a few times in my life where I've lost friends, and some of the times it was like I don't want to be the party girl anymore,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be surrounded by that. I don't want that vibe.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, same.
yeah. So whoever asked that question, it's okay. There's no judgment.
Mhm.
Live your life.
And
Be
hold
a-
on to the people that do
Yeah.
have your back.
that do support you,
Yeah.
that do stand up for you, that do check in with you and are authentic.
Yeah.
And if that, I've learned this, and I'm now just learning at 43, people will show their true colors immediately. So now I know to listen.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have fun. Okay.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Anyway.
Fun community questions. Okay. And okay, anything you are excited about for the fall? Gosh, I can't believe it's the fall. Is this considered fall?
I mean, almost. It's about to be September, which feels fall.
When is fall
But-
official? That Labor Day?
Fall is official. Actually, I think autumn solstice. Is that what? I actually just
don't
made that
know.
up, maybe.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
September-
we're in Mercury in retrograde. Right
September 21st, I thought, is officially fall.
Okay.
Or August 21st. Maybe it already happened. I literally don't.
Well, I am speaking. I've been doing a lot of keynotes lately, and I actually love it because you can really, in a room of 400 or 500 people, just connect with people. And I'm very shy, but then you've seen me on stage.
I've been to so many. I cry every time. I'm like the dad that like cries with the camcorder.
Just connecting and sharing stories and all about pillars of wellness and moving through life and all of the triumphs and the troubles but there's a women's leadership symposium. I can never say that word, symposium, in Fort Worth, Texas, coming up September
26th.
26th. Thank you, Desiree. She'll
Oh,
be
that's
there
so
too
fun.
if you want to meet
I'll be
Desiree
there.
in person. Hey.
Hey.
But there's a whole bunch of women all about leadership, empowerment. You don't want to miss it. We can put that in the show notes as well. Otherwise, in fall, I don't know. Staying home with my Pomeranians.
Just surviving.
Surviving.
Thriving.
Surviving.
No, but okay, this is actually like probably a good last question, good place to end, fun one. If you could be a fly on the wall, where would you want to be?
You know what I want to say, but
What else?
Oh gosh, that's a really hard question.
That's a hard question.
Because I've like been so many places and listened to so many conversations, and I was gonna think like Oprah's house, but I'd rather just meet Oprah. Which is that? If you could meet anyone, who would it be?
That's
Oprah.
a good way to.
Oprah.
Oprah, yeah.
I'm gonna do this.
Mine would be Gerard Butler. Because I want to marry him. I think he would be single now.
Is he?
I don't know, but I saw him in Venice like a few years ago at Roosterfish. I wish I would have said that.
He would like you. You like. I mean,
Yeah, the older men love
you
me.
like. Yeah, she's got daddy issues to be.
That's fair. Next episode.
Next episode is Desiree Cummins' daddy issues. But I don't know. Also, I think Matthew McConaughey, maybe. He's here in Austin.
Mhm.
But really Oprah. Because I've had this dream, like there's this manifestation thing called I don't know what it's called. But it's like you say like I remember when, and you say I remember when, and you kind of think about the future of what you want to happen.
Mhm.
And I remember legitimately I was doing this, and it was before I started writing my book. And I said, I remember when I met Deepak Chopra. I remember when he read
Yeah.
my book.
And then it happened.
And then it freaking happened.
Mhm. Well, it's
So you remember when you could have met Gerard Butler.
Yeah.
You remember
No,
when
but
you
it's so
married him.
true. That's the key of manifestation is just pretending like it happened.
Yeah.
I sound so woo woo, and I'm so not woo woo. But like what is it? July? What number is 7? That's July. Yeah, July 7th.
Yeah.
It's like the Lionsgate portal, and I kept seeing all these things on TikTok, and I'm like, nothing to lose. I'm gonna go write down this stuff, and it's like you write down 7 things where it's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
And I did that 2 or 3 years ago, and I remember finding the note like a year and a half later with my roommate at the time, and we read everything. It all happened. Every single one came true, and it was far fetched at the time. But
Yeah.
it's like you speak it into existence, and I don't think it's some higher power craziness, just like controlling it. I think it's like you speak into what you were gonna achieve, and then you do it. But
So that same time I said, I remember when I wrote my memoir. I remember
Mhm.
when Deepak Chopra read it, and he is on the cover as a quote. I also said, I remember when Oprah read it. So that one is still in manifestation.
she's coming.
She's going to listen to the audiobook.
She's going to, and you're gonna be on the Oprah show, and I'll be there
I
taking.
don't think she has a
videos.
show anymore. Oh, wait.
Is it gone? Shows what I know.
I should know what I'm talking about. But
Well, she's gonna read it regardless. So we're gonna find
she
her.
still does. She has a book club. Or Reese Witherspoon.
Yeah, let's do
Reese.
either one.
I remember when Reese Witherspoon DM'd me.
There you go.
On that note,
Mhm.
go out there and manifest what you remember happens in the future. Thank you, Desiree.
Thanks, Katie.
Did you know, because of you and introducing me to Magic Mind, that I have reached out to them and they are offering the Big Silence community a discount limited offer that you can use now that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off one-time purchases with the code TBS. It's probably what your friend had. That's why I had like 2 things that you took. So anyways, you can claim it at magicmind.com/TBS and let me know how you love it. Cheers. All right. And make sure you like and share this podcast with anyone that you love that needs to hear it. Have a good laugh. Single and knowing you're not alone because Deseray's single too. Love you all. Bye.
Bye.
The Big Silence. The Big Silence. The Big Silence.